Mom's pearls. Mom's pearls. Mom's pearls. Mom's pearls. Mom's pearls.
Well, hello everyone. I am Sister Shayla, and I'm here today on Mom's Pearls, where we're here every Tuesday to answer life's questions. I'm here with my co-host. I have Sister Leah and Sister Brenda. We are moms and we are sisters in Christ. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Great. Our topic today is, look, y'all, the mask. Do you wear yours or don't you? Do you think it should be mandated or not? I want to get some answers and some questions today from any and everyone. Hit us up, and if you have something you want to ask, let us know. But for right now, Sister Leah and Sister Brenda, we're going to try to do our best that we can to get some insight on mask wearing. Sister Brenda, what do you think?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm going to talk about with you ladies the pros and cons of mask wearing.
Okay.
Everybody has, different opinions. And the research shows there are pros and there are cons to wearing these masks. My con with it, I do wear my mask, that I do, but the problem with me wearing it, and fortunately, I don't work. I'm retired now, so I'm not out there like 8 hours a day, like a lot of people are wearing that mask at work. But the little time I do wear it when I'm shopping, out, I now find that I have skin irritation. So I find that my skin is breaking out this past year from the mask wearing, where it wasn't doing that before. They also say, doctors are getting more patients now, and that's the complaint about the wearing of the mask. Their faces are breaking out. It's good for the dermatologist, but it's not good for the patients. It's been a real big issue, and that's my biggest con. I'm going to give it to you, Leah. What do you feel? Do you feel you have more pros or cons?
Well, I agree with that kind actually, as far as the mask irritating the skin and like creating dry skin, especially if you have sensitive skin. That's the one thing about it. The good thing about the masks are they come in different varieties and different types. We've all seen, I know I have seen people with a lot of different types of masks. And so you can find some that hopefully will help with the sensitive skin, but just taking extra measures as far as if you can with different oils and creams and things that you apply to your skin, that's important. But two, I think some of the cons that we don't think about is just how the masks make us feel. So sometimes they make people feel a little bit more comfortable. So then they get a little bit closer to us than that 6 feet of space that some of us might like or prefer. I know when Yolanda was out here, we talked about how comfortable she's gotten with, and she was always about it before it even ever this pandemic hit or anything. She's like, give me my 6 feet and then some. So, even with that, it's just like, oh, you got the mask, I got the mask, let's be right under each other like you were. And that might not always necessarily be where you're at the moment. You might not still be comfortable where you want everybody to be right here with you, especially when you go to stores and stuff and they taking off the markers and things like that. So those are some of the things, some cons that come with it as well. And then also the fact that people say that it messes with their sight, like just being careful of being able to see, like, they fog up a lot. That's really annoying. I wear my glasses 24/7. So like, that's one of the big things that I try to make sure when I'm wearing my mask is that I can still see, that I can still function, because it can be very annoying. And my 7-year-old daughter does the same thing. She wears, and she has to be at school all day. So even though it's not a work thing, she's still at school for those extended hours where she has to make it work. But, again, we've just found masks that fit her face really well and help make her comfortable. And then the bending in, some of them bend in right there that allow you to have that right under there that doesn't create that fogging. So I know those are some of the cons. But I know there are several more about keeping the mask healthy and things like that. And what do you have on these cons or pros for wearing your mask, Shayla?
Honey, let me tell you. I'm here, look, I'm a big girl. So I breathe through my mouth. So when I put that mask on and it's sucking in and out, and it's like going off into my throat when I'm trying to breathe, but I'm breathing, I'm a mouth breather. And so with that being said, I'll be telling y'all fat folks need air. So it's like, when I'm not having it, if you see me in the store, I ain't having no asthma attack. Time for me. I just need to be able to breathe, without sucking the mask down off into my larynx or somewhere. That's it. But the pros is I know it works. Look, I'm walking through the store and I'm feeling good. My glasses might be a little fogged up, but you press it in like Sister Leah said. But then the con, like I said, I breathe through my mouth and I'm doing it again. So with that being said, I just, y'all pray for me because look.
It is definitely the pro for me, even with the inconvenience. It's proven that it helps. It helps the spread of the virus. It helps the spread of flus, any airborne, sickness and illness that you can catch. It really does help prevent that. And that's why I wear it, even with all the inconveniences, my skin breaking out. I'm here. I'll deal with the skin breaking out as to wear it and keeping myself healthy, my loved ones healthy, my friends, people I'm in contact with, even people you don't know when you day to day you have a contact, if it's passing money or something else, because you can, get on your hands and then you touch something, you give it to somebody else and then they can catch it. At the end of the day, I think it is worth it, but that's just my opinion. Other people have their own opinions. To each his own. It's about being healthy. It's about looking out for the next person in any way you can do that. And not to forget, we still have to wash our hands and keep clean and mask up. It's very, very important. Well, ladies, I'd like to thank you for your input on that. And at this point, let's get ready for the Health Pearl with Jeanette.
Yes.
Hi, ladies. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. So I love seeing your beautiful smiles. I just love it. So here's my question to you. Are you flossing? Hello. So we're going to talk about flossing today. Flossing is an important oral hygiene practice. Tooth decay and gum disease can develop when plaque is allowed to build up on teeth and along the gum line. Right? Cleaning between teeth removes plaque that can lead to cavities or gum disease, and we don't want that. From the areas where a toothbrush cannot reach. More than 500 bacterial species can be found in plaques. Who knew that, right? So it's super important to floss. Some are good and some are bad for your mouth. Together with food debris, water, and other components, the plaque buildup around the teeth and on the gum line will contribute to disease in teeth and gums. So I have some floss here. I have this one. I like this one because it has the little pick at the end. I could get in between my teeth. But this one I've been told is actually the best one because you can wrap it around your finger, get that grip. And let's say this pinky right here is my tooth. And they say, make sure you have that C shape. If you could get that C looking shape with your floss, then they say it's the best one to use. And I also have a picture that I would like to share with you all. It just gives a little demonstration on the correct way to do it. And there you see step 1, it says get yourself a piece of floss. Step 2, gently slide the floss between your teeth and down towards the gum. Okay, once again, make sure you get that C shape. And 3, move the floss to the next tooth, being sure to get both sides. Don't forget, guys, both sides. And then 4, it tells you how to go ahead and finish that up. So there you have it, guys. Please be sure to floss because I just love seeing your beautiful smiles. Thank you.
Oh, Janelle, we love seeing your beautiful smile too. I love those health pearls. Oh my goodness. Something
Yes.
about them is just we always learn something. I know I always learn something. So I always enjoy them. That was amazing. So yes, yes, yes. Remember our C's. But speaking of C's, I've got another C for you. We're talking about children. So we're talking about mask mandates. Should it be or should it not be? And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the schools because that's been a hot button issue. And I think one of the reasons that it's been a hot button issue is because when you think about mask mandates in general, just for the general public, especially in the United States of America, where we truly believe in our rights, you know, people are like, it is my right to wear a mask or not wear a mask. And nobody's going to tell me what I'm going to do. And I think so many times that's how we live our life, just with the idea that I'm going to live my life the way that I want to live it. You're not going to tell me what I can and can't do. So when it comes down to our children, it comes across the same way. And it has been a real issue about whether we should have these masks or not have these masks for our children. So some of the reasons that they're saying is that we have the right to decide for our children. The county can't tell us how to do that. You know, if our children should go in there with masks or they shouldn't go in there with masks. So there was an article saying that parents actually do have real rights, like real rights that are important and valid and that we should pay attention to in regards to their children, in regards to their health, in regards to their education. However, they were saying that it doesn't supersede the country and the government and what the government can say, especially when they use the word martyr. They said that when you're technically making a martyr out of your child by putting them in harm's way with not wearing a mask. So I think that there are a lot of things that we don't understand when it comes to wearing the mask. And we say, you know, I don't want my child to wear the mask. And I totally get it, especially when it comes to medical conditions. You know, you're concerned about, like Sister Shayla was making the point about their breathing. You know, they're little, their lungs aren't as developed, aren't as strong. Like, what if they pass out? What if they, you know, can't breathe? They have an attack. Is this going to create illnesses further down the line for my child? You know, I don't want them to have vision issues because of this mask or have issues with their heart or something like that. So these are all real issues. However, it hasn't, in research, we haven't seen where these things have really been something to be concerned about in regards that our children don't need to wear the mask. So right now, it's still been proven that the benefits of wearing the mask outweigh our concerns for them not wearing the mask. And again, I think just from our vantage point, family, you guys feel free to get in this chat and let us know how you feel. It really matters to us. We definitely want to know. But I think just from our vantage point, ladies, it's more so, am I my brother's keeper? You know, just making sure, even with our children, because children are so germy. We love our germy babies, but they spread things so easily, just like those bacteria 500 that were in our health pearl. Just at the end of the day, so just being aware that, you know, this is one more preventative measure just to keep them safe and keep the families that they go home to safe and just all the neighborhood and community around them so that they can thrive, because our babies love going to school. They love interacting with each other. They love hanging out. So just so that everybody can be together, you know, just having them on the mask. But what do you ladies think? Brenda, what's your opinion on this?
As we all know, a classroom is a pita dish for germs. We love our little people, but they are the germiest. They just catch everything and bring it home. I am for the children wearing it. I talk to my grandchildren constantly. Make sure you keep your mask on while you're in school. They're back in school now. I don't want them or anybody else getting sick. We have a daughter who works in the school system. Tell her all, wear your mask while you're there. And she does it. She has asthma, but she wears her mask because she has 3 children at home. She can't afford to get sick with asthma or to bring something home to her children. I'm for it, but everybody has their opinion, because I can't tell you what to do with yours. You can't tell me what to do with mine. At the end of the day, what I don't like about this whole situation is the violence that has erupted at these demonstrations at these schools about the children, and the children are looking at this. We as adults are not setting the right example at all. And that's the part that really bothers me. I'm gonna give it to you, Sheila, because that just irks me.
Honey, I agree with you 110%. The violence over masks, wearing masks or not wearing masks. And it's like the kids, we don't want them to start doing that as the adults are doing out there, fighting each other in the classroom because you don't have your mask on. And, I have grandkids. My kids are grown, but my grandkids, they will wear their masks faithfully the whole time while they're at school because they know we sit down and we explain to them what the consequences were, why we have to wear them and why we should not stop wearing them as of now. And so my grandson JJ, he'll tell you in a minute, he carries extra masks with him in case the string will break. He's like, Nanny, can I get 2 more masks? Yes, sir. And then one of his friends might not have one, they forgot theirs. He will loan a mask. Don't take it back, just give him the mask. I loaned him the mask. I said, you didn't get it back, did you? No. Okay, good thing. But, excuse me, we have to teach them that this thing is real. This thing is real.
Yes.
As far as the parents out here acting a donkey, this is crazy. Let's teach them why they should wear masks. And if you don't want, tell them why they shouldn't. Don't have them out there mimicking you out here fighting and stuff, because while you're gone, they're going to be in the classroom with the teachers and they're going to do exactly what they're seeing you do. And so I don't want my grandkids fighting in school over a mask. I don't want your kids fighting in school over a mask. Either they wear them or they don't. So let's just teach them and show them this is what we, as my unit, this is what we're going to do. You as your unit, this is what you're going to do. But let's just get it together. Like we said, we want to be our brother's keeper. We want to do that. But see, that means we have to come together somewhere down this line in this pandemic thing that's supposed to be easing. We're supposed to be easing up out of. We're supposed to come together. We need to come together and try to work this thing out so that our kids can have a prosperous and beautiful life. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I believe that the teaching is in the teaching. So if you guys agree with me, fine. If you don't, let me see. Being my brother's keeper. Since everyone out here is doing their own thing, I want to explain something. Being my brother's keeper, since everyone is out here doing their own thing, being my brother's keeper means to help. Look, so we can be together, so we can dwell together. So what's the word I want to use? Let's just continue. Let's love on each other, y'all. Let's love on each other. That's the ultimate way. Let's do that. And being my brother's keeper, I love you, Sister Leah. I love you, Sister Brenda. I'm going to do what I can.
Love you.
I will do what I can to help you, help me. You might have difference of opinion, but I still love you enough to go through and do what needs to be done as far as helping you. If I don't know, look, I'll research because I love you that much. And in other words, let's consider each other's feelings. Let's just take it to heart that we can do this thing. The thing is, are we willing?
I agree. I think it's so important that we teach it to our children. Family, all of my mom's bros family, it's redundant. I've said it a million times this year on our episodes, but I think it's just so important that we treat people the way that we want to be treated and that we teach that to our children, okay? But I'm excited. I'm going to move out of the way right now because we've got another goodie for you, family. It is time, ladies, for our spiritual pearl.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me for today's Spiritual Pearl. I'm so excited to be sharing with you from 2 of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. And they read, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." This is one of my favorite, 2 of my favorite verses for so many reasons, but one of them being that these verses are applicable in any and every situation in life. In this world full of chaos and crazy, it's so easy to get caught up in our own understanding or our own way of thinking how we should do things. But the Bible here encourages us to trust in the Lord with all our heart. That means not leaving any room for doubt, any room for anything else to come in and creep in and make us think that God is not who he is, that he cannot fully provide for us, that he won't make a way, that he won't bring us to it and through it, but he will. It says, in all thy ways, acknowledge him. That means put him first, seek him, make it plain to yourself in every situation that God can and will if we just believe. And that's all he wants from us today, is to just trust him and watch him guide our path. Watch him give us direction. Watch him give us peace that is greater than anything else, and that satisfies our inner worries and our inner doubts and those thoughts that you thought nobody knew about. God knows. So today, Mom's Pearls, family, and friends, I want you to completely trust God, to just surrender to him with your whole heart, and don't rely on yourself or what you can put together or the inner workings of anything else. Instead, surrender to God and watch him do great things in your life. Thanks as always for having me. Back to you,
Well,
ladies.
that was awesome. Just like our health pearl, I am telling you, I can't get enough of these little pearls. They
Yes.
keep us on our toes. They keep us refreshed. They're so informative. I just love it. That was amazing. So, we talked about our children. We're talking about being our brother's keepers with this mask mandate, just from our perspective. We want us to consider others above ourselves, not just about how we feel, but about what's best for our community, our neighborhood. And I think it's so important that that message goes on to our children as well, because at the end of the day, they're in with their little community of classroom friends for this extended period with their teachers and everything that they consider their home away from home. So it should be a safe environment. It should be a safe place for everybody, where they can get along, where they can love each other, where they can play together in just the best way that we know how. And right now, one of those best ways, one of those best practices we think are wearing the mask. But Shayla, what else do you have for us today? Go ahead and talk to us, girl.
I have a question. Do everyone think we should wear a mask? Should it be mandated that we wear masks? I mean, why should we? Why shouldn't we? My thing is, I say yeah, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion, because I'm trying to take care and keep myself out of harm's way. I'm trying to keep my family out of harm's way. Right now, we can at least try to take steps into trying to get this thing taken care of. Let's take the steps to get in here and take care of our kids, because we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on in the classroom. We don't know what's being brought up there. We don't know what's going on in your workplace. We don't know what somebody has brought off into the workplace with you. But I think if we could put the mask on and try to alleviate some of it, I think that would be good. But that's just my opinion. When we go to the restaurants, when we go to the grocery stores, we see people with the mask, we see people without the mask. So are we doing any good as far as not wearing them, or are we doing too much by wearing them? I'm just asking. So give me an idea of what you might think about it. Sister Brenda, come to me.
I don't think we could ever be doing too much by wearing them. I personally do feel we should be mandated, at least for a certain amount of time. I agree with you, Shayla, so we can get this under wraps. Try to get it to be gone. It's like you can get to the point where it might not totally be gone. It could be like the flu, for instance. So, flu season comes during winter time, certain times of the year. And that might be like that. We really need to think about how we can all work together. My opinion is, yes, it should be mandated. Leah, what's your opinion?
Oh my goodness. So I am just so slighted on this issue, because I know when I used to work at the hospital, and this was before the pandemic and everything like that. So masks were not mandated regularly, but we would have to wear masks around certain patients when we went into their rooms, just due to the nature of whatever the patient was experiencing. And that was not fun. That was not ideal. I mean, me and my coworkers would be like, ooh, here we go, but we have to do. So I could only imagine having to wear this mask, especially if you're working and you have to go to the grocery store right after work. And it just seems like a constant thing of discomfort. You know, it literally could be uncomfortable. But I just think for me, I guess the only thing that I have in the rebuttal of it being uncomfortable and being irritating for your skin and just other concerns like the breathing, like we've addressed earlier, would just be just the fact that the good outweighs the bad. And just for the greater good, for me, would be my perspective. Because I think even with the patients, like at the end of the day, just it was for their protection, not really mine necessarily when I went in the room with them, but just so more for them. So I'm doing this, I'm making myself uncomfortable. I'm doing something that I don't want to do so that this patient is protected. And that was so important. That was so much more important than my personal feelings and how I felt about it. So I definitely feel like that. And because I have little ones that, like Sister Brenda said and Sister Shayla said, that go to school every day. And I totally feel like from a parent's perspective, if my children can do it, certainly I can do it. And my children have not complained. They might not like, but I mean, they've even, I'm like, you don't have to have it on right now. You guys take it off. We're on our way back home. It's fine. You know, but they're like, well, we've been doing it now. We're accustomed to it. And kids are more resilient than I think. And I
Yes.
just think, family, you guys feel free to put in there what you like. We want to hear from you. But from my perspective, I just feel like if they can do it as adults, we definitely can do it. Like it's just something that we just have to get our minds around, and we just have to consider others above ourselves. You know, we have to think about what God has called us to do. At the end of the day, it's not always about us. We don't live in this world by ourselves. So just considering other people, you know, people have experienced real loss, whether you think it's real or it's not real, but there are people who have honestly experienced real loss to this, and they've had heartbreak, and they've experienced job loss and financial issues. So we just have to consider other people. That's where I'm at.
I agree with you 110%, sis. I just know at the end of the day, with the love that God has put inside each and every one of us, we should want to. We should want to. Not everybody they have the love, but they don't know how to use it yet. I say it like that. They don't know when to put it out. But I think the love that God has put inside of each and every one of us, we should want to take care and make sure that our brothers and sisters are in good health, are taken care of, that are not in need of. And if they happen to be in some problems, let's get in there together. Let's pray for them, y'all. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we are still our brother's keepers. I don't care if you're going to church, if you don't, my next door neighbor don't know that I'm her keeper, her brother, I'm gonna take care of her. I don't know her jumping jack, but if somebody let me know something is going on with my neighbor, Johnny on the spot. First, I'm gonna put the prayer in there on them, and then I will go and physically knock on the door. If there's a need, I'm here for you. I just have that love that God has in each and every one of us for our brothers and sisters. See, I love him and I love you guys. And family, I love every last one of you. I don't even know y'all, but trust and believe. We love every last one of you guys here on Mom's Pearls. We don't have to see your face, but we know if there's a need and you let us know, first thing we're gonna do is go in and pray for you and ask God to take care of whatever that need is. Financially, physically, when people are sick out here, and that's the first thing we want to pray for is our people. So with that being said, y'all, let's do the best we can and continue to be our brother's keeper. Have a blessed one.
Mom's Pearl.